Hey guys! So today I'm not going to be joining you for the whole hour, but instead we have a very special guest who I think you're going to love. So I'll pass you on to Robin and Tara to join you for the next hour, and I'll see you next week. See ya!
Hey guys, welcome to another live session from NZ Pocket Guide. Today I'm joined by the amazing Tara from Kiwi Americans. She is on absolute fire today because we did feed her cake for breakfast. That's not something you should be doing. Anyway, so quickly for this live session, as you guys know, we're talking everything travel in New Zealand. So if you have any questions, you put them in the live chat right now and we read all the comments and we go over all your questions. And if you can't make it live, you can put your questions in the comments of every single one of our videos and we'll answer them for you, because we kind of are the experts of traveling in New Zealand, as we are the team behind NZ Pocket Guide, New Zealand's largest travel guide. All right, without further ado, let's get started in the comments. We have Tamo over there that said, good evening. Yes, it's evening for you in Estonia, but it's morning 8 a.m.
In
right
Estonia?
Here.
Is that what you said?
Tamo is from Estonia, yes.
Wow.
Tamo is one of the lovely patrons from Estonia. He says, now with a special guest, the NZ Travel Show is really the NZ Travel Show. Indeed, that's our first guest we ever have. Tara, you are...
Oh, I see. That's what... Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm new to this. Here we go.
So Tara,
I'm like way down here.
You have the honor to be our first guest ever. So
first guest ever.
Yeah, we never had guests.
And this
it was
is
just
like 156.
Yes.
156.
There you go. So you're really special. So tell us a bit more about you. What did you do on YouTube? What's the haps?
All right, so this is a little bit about me. So I moved to New Zealand from the U.S. I've been here for 6 years. It's a bit of a story. I have 4 children. My husband and I, we immigrated here. We live in the Wellington region. We absolutely love New Zealand. And about a year ago, I started to talk about that on TikTok, really, is where it started. And then I started sharing our story on YouTube, and that kind of, picked up. And yeah, so I have a pretty successful channel talking about the differences between New Zealand and the U.S. So if you are American and you want to know what it's like living here, I can certainly help you. And I do help a lot of people immigrate here, and just kind of answering all those questions, because I really wish I had somebody like me helping, just to answer those, especially when you're moving like a whole family and you're really kind of starting a new life somewhere else. And we didn't know anybody, so we had nothing. We had no idea and just kind of figured everything out. So I'm here to help.
Nice.
So yeah.
And so you're living in Wellington, don't you?
I'm living in Wellington. Yeah. Like I said, I have 4 kids ages. Right now they are 10 all the way up to 19. And I'm a professor by trade. And so I teach business communication courses and, YouTube on the side. So
YouTube on the side, indeed. All right, so let's go to the live chat and see what we have. We have Mosin that says, Morena. He says, I got an offer of place from the AUT, which is the Auckland University... T.
Yeah, right? What is it?
What's the T?
Auckland what's the T?
University.
Oh,
there you go, they're
my
in with
gosh.
the kids.
Yeah, it's kind of like here. So if you come to New Zealand, they don't say math here. It's maths with an S.
Well,
and I'm still not used to that.
Do you know how many numbers there are? There are a lot of numbers. I would put an S at math.
But the actual reason why there's an S is it's because it's mathematics. And so it's maths.
Interesting.
That's what makes sense to them. I don't know. I don't say it.
So Mosin says he has an offer of place for AUT and he can't wait to come to New Zealand in 2022.
Oh, how
He's
exciting.
hoping that the border situation improves.
Yeah.
I always follow your videos and I'm glad that Kiwi American is joining the session today. Here you go.
So cool. So
Sarah's already having some fun.
What are you going to study there? And, what's
Mosin,
the plan?
give us some context.
Yeah, give us some context because, I work in the industry.
Do you want to read what Fabio is saying?
Sure. Okay. Hi, guys. Looking forward to the stream.
Here you go. So
Here
Fabio is one of our
early.
Patreon. Fabio, he's one of our supporters on Patreon. So we have Fabio, we have Joey, we have Anthony, we have David, and we have Tamo, which is even a producer level. So he's pretty awesome. So you guys can join us on Patreon. It's a fantastic way to get more of our time. We do an extra live session every single week. There's plenty of extra perks. We have some extra travel guides for you guys. We can help you with your itinerary. You can even have one-on-one session with me to talk about your plans coming to New Zealand. So there's plenty of awesome ways to support us on Patreon. And there's even a secret Facebook group. And we may or may not have shared pictures of this massive chocolate cake we ate this morning on the Facebook group.
Oh, that's true. Is that what the picture was was for?
Yeah, that's exactly
so
what the picture was for.
Why don't you say what Patreon is?
Oh,
because
okay.
I feel like I know what it is, but I'm not totally familiar with it.
So Patreon basically is a system where you will be able to pay a small monthly fee. So our Patreon start at $5 every month, and that helps us support the channel. You know, like all this equipment that we have all around and everything, and getting some guests and everything, it takes a lot of time, effort and money, so it's a great way to support us, and you get a ton of perks along with it. So depending on which supporter level you choose, you get more perks, and really we do have a lot for you guys. We have a lot of PDF guides as well as you're getting, and yeah, feel free to ask some of the Patreon. We have some of them right now in the live chat, and ask them if it's worth it. You know, they may say yes, they may say no, but ask other people, you know. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the live chat.
Okay.
We're having Mosin that says, great to have Tara on NZ Pocket Guide. Awesome, he's really excited.
Thank you.
Tamo says he's on fire. What was in that cake this morning?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Too much sugar.
You know what I think
so
it
much
is?
sugar.
Like, you guys get your flour from a bakery, right?
Yeah.
I think that that's the key. Like, I bake all the time. I have a big family. It never lasts. So I have to bake all the time. Because what's really cool about New Zealand, if you're from the States, is everybody bakes from scratch. So it's normal from France, okay? Because everything's from scratch, right, in France? Am I right?
We do bake a lot, yes. We do cook a lot.
No, I mean, but like everything's homemade, right?
Yeah, I mean, I make my own pasta, I make my own stuff, yeah.
So pasta. Okay. so then you make everything from scratch and it's good. But I'm telling you, that cake was really good.
It was really good.
I mean, I really feel like it's the flour. Like,
no, I think it's the chef.
Oh,
you
no,
made the
really?
cake.
Like, I make cake all the time. And, like, I know all the other ingredients, and that's the variable. So I'm going to have to figure this out. This is your hot tip of the day. If you're a baker, maybe see if you can get some
it from the bakery, yeah.
Bakery, like, I feel like it's different. It was
yeah, so the story behind that, Laura and I bake and cook a lot, so it's easier and cheaper for us to actually get our flour in like 20 kg bag from the bakery rather than getting it from the supermarket. So that's what we do. All right, moving on.
20 kgs.
Anthony Comstock, which is from the US, he says Morena from Rodeo, California, with a bunch of emojis. Thanks for all the emojis. So the regulars here
Rodeo,
know that I love good
California.
emojis.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you been to Rodeo, California?
No, I don't know.
Have you been to California?
Yeah. I've driven, up and down the coast of California a couple times. I haven't been, too far south. Southern California, I would say, is probably where I haven't been. But, so it's nice.
Okay.
I don't know where that is exactly. I don't know if that's north or south, but...
I don't know either.
Yeah, so...
We need to talk about New Zealand. I do not know where Rodeo, California is. Okay, we have Extreme Talauta that says Morena. If you guys are not familiar, Morena means good morning in Maori, which is the local indigenous language. A couple of words that you want to know. There is Nathan Bass that is Kia ora. Good morning, Robin and Tara. How are you doing, Nathan? So Tara, meet Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
He's a nice little guy that lives in a Taupo, right in the center of the North Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he joined us to plan a trip for his family, if I remember correctly. And then he sticks around forever.
So cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Do you want to read the next couple of comments?
Yes. Tomika, I don't know. Hi. I don't want to say it wrong. Hello, how are you?
How are you doing, Tomek? I will call you Tomek. I hope that we're friendly enough so I can call you Tomek.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mark Lockwood, hi from a dark and cold England. You are busy. The very south of the South Island reminds me of Cornwall, England. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people compare New Zealand to Cornwall or to even Yorkshire, the parts of Yorkshire. A lot of people compare New Zealand to that. Yeah. But I just want to reassure you, Mark. I know it's dark and cold right in England, but it is very dark and rainy today here in New Zealand too. So don't panic. I know it's summer for us right now, but it definitely is dark and rainy. So we're having a big rainy day. You got Joanne Shivan just walking from between one house to another.
So, hi from dark and cold England. Got it. Okay, and then Tama... McKinnon, Marina from Whakatane. I love Whakatane.
Nice.
Have you been there?
Cool. Yeah, I really do like Whakatane. I think.
Do you really love it? I love it.
I really do.
I went there on my way to Gisborne from Rotorua and was like, "What is this town? I love this town." We actually were not planning on staying there, and we stayed the night.
Yeah, no,
because
it's really
it was
nice.
so fun.
And if you're really into mountain biking, in nearby Opotiki, near Whakatane, there's some fantastic mountain biking area, which is like not too hard and everything. It's really cool.
Oh, really? Not too hard?
No, not too hard. There's like some dunes.
I went on a recent mountain biking tour. Close to here.
Oh yeah.
Close to Lake Taupo area, and it was hard. Not gonna lie.
Okay, so we're having Joe. I'm just gonna increase the viewing so that it's even easier for you to read. Is it better right now?
Thank you.
What about this person right here, Just Keys?
Oh, Just Keys. Love both of your shows. Okay, can't wait to get back to New Zealand. Miss my daughter in Christchurch. Cheers from Key Largo, Florida. Love it. I love the Keys. Florida Keys.
I've never. This is the side of the US I haven't been. I've been to New York.
Yes, key lime pie. Bring
side.
it. Bring it.
Nice.
I love key lime pie.
Yeah. So, what is your daughter doing in Christchurch? Give us a bit of context. I like it. Oh, B plus N. So I'm just gonna talk about B plus N right now. They have a fantastic channel on YouTube. You definitely need to check them out. So there are a couple of lovely people, hand on their heart, and they just visit around. Like they travel mostly around the North Island, guys, right? And they do some videos. And N
cool.
stands for Natalie, and she's really into her snacks. And she does like to
so
pack a
B
lot of
and
snacks.
N, that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
so that's Brian and Natalie.
Brian and Natalie, okay.
So what does they say?
Marina, I bake a lot too. There's an organization in New Zealand called GBB to donate baking to, and I love them. Oh, yes, I've heard of that. Like somebody at my work is that you can donate the baking. Yeah, I'm not going to be good at knowing exactly. No, you make it. And you give it,
and so it's for like feeding the needies and
yes,
everything.
Yes,
that's
it's
cool.
very cool. I don't know if it's the same. Maybe it's not the same, but there's a lot of that. There's a lot of sharing in New Zealand. I love it. So that's very cool. Joey Harb, good morning.
Yes, Joey is another one of our awesome Patreon followers.
Nice.
What is Mohsin saying? Oh, he's talking to me. He says, Robin, where's Laura? Well, I banished her to a dark corner of the house and I replaced it with, the wiser version of Laura. It's Tara!
I don't know about that. I am older.
Laura, no, you barely. We've established yesterday you were 21 years old. So here you go. So, she's not too fine. She will be back next week, I promise, Mohsin. So don't panic. Laura is still around. Okay, what's Amjad saying?
Okay, hello guys. Nice to see you. I like your videos, both of you.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's nice.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Where are you joining us from?
Tomek is giving us a nice smiley face, and he says, Robin got it right. Nice.
Okay, that's good.
Anthony says, so Rodeo, California is near Vallejo. Do you know where Vallejo is, or no?
You know you said it's in California?
Yeah, Rodeo, California.
Oh, it's that guy. Okay, sorry, I'm not. This is all new. You know everybody. I love it. It's a real community. That's cool. But no, I don't know where that is.
Okay, so we have Clay. Do you remember I gave you a briefing about Clay Bryant from Dunedin? I told you.
He did.
I did.
It's
give early. A briefing. Yeah, it's early. Too early for you. Too early. Don't do it. Don't just draw up the glass. Just go down, sir. Anyway, so Clay says, "Good morning. How are you doing, Clay? Nice to have you on board." What is Tamo saying?
Being a Patreon to NZ Pocket Guide. I always read it as New Zealand. Sorry. NZ Pocket Guide is well worth it. I am not supporting by much, but I do receive much. Okay. All those hidden gems and info and all the support planning my trip to New Zealand. So it's really helpful. And it's great. I mean, everything that they do is really helpful. And this is kind of how we've actually hooked up, because I have been getting a lot of questions and people interested in travel as, New Zealand starts to open up next year. And I was like, oh my gosh, so many questions. And then, I was familiar with the NZ Pocket Guides website, and they just have everything. So I'm not trying to create a new product that's already amazing and already exists. And so that's why I kind of reached out to Robin's like, oh my gosh, can I just send these people to you? Is that okay? And and so and so now that I've been here,
come and hang out.
Yeah, and so now I've really learned about Robin and Laura, and it's great. And so so then we can, combine efforts, if you will. So so it's lovely to be here. Great to meet you guys. And sorry, I'm not Laura today.
Don't apologize.
Sorry, I've lost where
we are on Joey right here. What's Joey saying?
Okay, how's New Zealand been this week? How's my favorite spot in the world, Queenstown? Oh, Joey, I was just there.
Yeah, you were just here last week.
There.
How is Queenstown doing?
Oh, I love Queenstown. I literally would move to Queenstown if I didn't have so many children already established at school.
She has 4 kids. So Queenstown, was it busy actually? I'm quite interested.
That's a good question.
With COVID and everything, Queenstown is usually really, really busy. Is it busy? So
I was there Sunday through Tuesday this week, and it was, it's not busy like when it has tourists there, but it was just stunning days when I was there. And so we spent a lot of time, outside and doing things and walking. And so we went down, it was like downtown, like the nightlife. We went out for a drink one night, and it was pretty busy, I would say. And I was I was actually a little bit surprised because I've been there. I was there in May as well, and yeah, it wasn't as busy, and people were like just handing out 2-for-1 drink passes, like trying to get you to come in their restaurant, because tourism is basically stopped. So yeah, so you're feeling really bad for them, but Queenstown is just. It's lovely. So if you want to go, I mean, obviously just go on their website and there's all the amazing details. But yeah, if you want to talk about a specific tour or something, we can help you.
Nice.
It's great.
Okay, so we have David Burrow all the way on top of there. What is David? David, thank you very much for popping in today. By the way, I know you don't pop in often live, but that's cool to have you on board. What is David saying?
Okay, greetings to both of you. I've enjoyed the New Zealand Pocket Guide review of the Transalpine train, and I'm curious what you think of the Northern Explorer between Auckland and Wellington. Have you done these? Because I have not done these.
So yesterday we published a video about the Transalpine train. So one thing I would like to point out, David, is that only the Transalpine train is running at the moment due to COVID. Kiwi Rail have decided to kind of put on hiatus all the other Scenic trains. So they're just not operating at the moment. We don't know when they're going to be back.
Hold on, are you saying that the Transalpine train isn't running?
No, the Transalpine is the only one running.
That is
the
running,
other one
yes,
are not
because
running.
I looked at doing it and I was like, but there's not a lot of options, but yeah.
So the Northern Explorer is not going to be running this year.
But have you done it?
Yes, we've done it.
Have you done both of those?
Yes, and we have some videos on the channel.
Is it really cool?
No, they're really, honestly, I will say my humble opinion is that the Transalpine is the one which is really worth doing.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Just looking at your options.
Yeah, the sceneries are really fantastic, and also it doesn't take as long and everything. I feel like the Northern Explorer basically makes you skip too many of the amazing spots and everything. So if you're really into trains, right, you're gonna see them and everything. But New Zealand is all about kind of a journey and stopping along the way and everything. The Transalpine give you that option of basically being an attraction in itself and sending you back to Christchurch or back to Greymouth, wherever you're going back and forth, right? So I personally believe that the Transalpine is definitely the one that you need to do, and I don't think that most people traveling in New Zealand. I know, David, you're just taking a holiday. I don't think most people traveling in New Zealand should take more than one train journey.
Yeah, so tell me. Tell me about the experience. So they are stopping a lot?
So, for example, for the Transalpine, right, you will stop at Arthur Pass because they do have to hook up some more locomotives because the tunnel afterward is too steep, and in case there is one breaking down, for safety, they have to do that. So you will have about 20 minutes at Arthur Pass where when it comes down, take a few pictures. But aside from that, no, it's straight through.
Oh, it is. So then, what's it like on the train? Do they have
So they have multiple
bar service?
Yes. So they have restaurant, they have bar service, they have a lot of food options. You can see us stuffing ourselves for that journey if you watch the video.
Are there cool, different, you could just get regular pass, or can you get one of those cabins with a door, or is it just everybody sits?
No,
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
We got the normal kind of pass. I don't think you can have something more private, but you walk around the train. So there are some viewing carriage which is literally open doors, and you literally see there's no
it's open.
Yeah, there's no window and everything.
Don't bring your little kids out there.
Well, supervise you can, but yeah, and even the seating carriage, they have extra window on top, so they kind of really just designed scenically. So yeah, they definitely are fantastic. It is one of our favorite things.
I really want to do that.
Really
I'm going to Greymouth this summer. Maybe we'll do the Transalpine.
No, you have to do it, yeah. And you go to Lake Bruno as well in Greymouth.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit expensive for a family. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, that's okay. The kids don't have to go.
Yeah, kids don't have to go.
Leave the husband and the kid Mummy's going to take a day out.
Yes, I'm going to go on the trains.
All right, so we're having Nathan that says, hey Tara, where were you based before moving to New Zealand?
Oh, good question, Nathan. Good question. Actually, yeah, I moved here from Wisconsin. I'm from Milwaukee. It's about an hour and a half north of Chicago. So top middle, Great Lakes, not by any sea or ocean, as you say. But yeah, so that's where I'm from. I was born in New York, but mainly grew up in Wisconsin. So the dairy state. The #1 producer of cranberries, if you didn't know.
Here you go. For all your dairies and cranberry, head to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go quick through a couple of comments so we can go for some bigger questions. So Clay says it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Yep, you say that every week, but still not. It doesn't make it okay. Mohsin says, great as usual to see your video all the way from Kenya. So yeah, keep up the good work.
What time is it in Kenya? Oh, that's cool.
What time is it in Kenya, Mohsin?
That's cool.
Okay, Mark Logwood has a cool question. He says, hi, pros and cons of living in a South or North Island in New Zealand.
Okay, well, I've never lived in the South Island. Have
Okay.
you lived in the South Island?
Yeah. So we did, and even Laura actually did an entire season, like a winter
okay.
season in Queenstown. So yeah, I would say South Island. You get.
You lived in Queenstown?
Laura did live in Queenstown. I couldn't handle it.
As you should.
Yeah, I couldn't handle living in Queenstown. It's too touristy for me.
Well, not right now.
I like
Now's the
traveling.
perfect time.
Yeah,
to
no,
live in
right now I
Queenstown.
will, but it's a bit too touristy for me. So
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
visiting,
fair,
but
fair.
yeah, living over there wouldn't be my vibe. Yeah. Okay, so South Island. Best thing to do. I mean, pros to living in South Island.
Yeah.
So the pros is that you have pretty much unlimited access to some of the most amazing sceneries and
Most
wildlife in
amazing.
the world. So that's definitely a
Mountains,
pros.
if you like mountains.
Yeah.
It's
you do like
colder,
mountains,
though.
You have to be an outdoors man. Yeah.
Yes.
And so yeah, cons is going to be colder, a bit
Yeah,
wetter.
cons colder.
All the shipping and stuff, like sending things back and forth. Usually when you order things online, there's a little extra fee if it's delivery on the South Island. So you want to keep that in mind. So yeah, so that's kind of like the few cons that we'll have. The cities tend to be a little bit smaller, so job opportunities are going to be a little bit different.
Oh, that's
so
true.
yeah, that's good. That's
So you
gonna
got
be the one.
Queenstown, I would say Dunedin, I would say Christchurch are kind of the three. I like Dunedin a lot more than I thought I would as an actual place to live.
Weirdly enough, I love Invercargill, which people
No.
think I'm crazy about.
Are
but
you
I
being
love
Are you
Invercargill.
being serious?
I love Invercargill.
I have not even been there, and you know why? Because everybody keeps discouraging me to go there.
You should go there.
All
I
the
really do
Kiwis
like it.
that mostly my channel are New Zealanders, and they're like, "Don't go there. Don't waste your time." And so they've really. Are you being serious?
I really do love Invercargill.
Okay. Have you spent much time in Christchurch?
Yeah, we did spend quite a lot of time actually in
Oh,
Christchurch.
okay.
But usually when we're in Christchurch, we escape to go to Akaroa and the Banks Peninsula, where
Okay.
there's,
Right.
the French town of New Zealand. So we go for the
Oh, it
baguettes.
is?
Yeah, it's
I didn't know
it's where the
that.
French settlers were. The name of streets and everything are French. There's fantastic croissants. It's pretty awesome.
Is it really good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because
not as good as Laura's
Dunedin is more
croissants
like
because,
Scottish,
you know.
right? It's like that. Yeah, and so Christchurch. I've only been once actually. I need to go back, but that had a totally different feel than the other cities in Wellington. The other two big ones, Wellington and Auckland, and like I feel like the properties were bigger, like. The house, like you had more space, whereas,
Yeah, so that's another big pro actually on the South Island.
Yeah.
Property, like buying a house or anything like that, is going to be well cheaper in the South Island.
Yeah,
so you'll
that's
have more. You usually will have more bangs for your bucks when you come down to housing. Housing is a bit on and off in New Zealand at the moment. But
Right.
yeah, so that would be a big pro, pro of the South Island. Now pro of the North Island.
Yes, pro of the North Island. Well, you guys, I just love Wellington. I mean, you cannot. Okay, this is a saying. You can't beat Wellington on a good day, okay? Because when you get the sunshine, it has everything.
Yeah.
It's like small enough, but the harbor and like the million things to do, but like small community. I mean, you kind of have all of it. Like I love Wellington. And I would say I love Queenstown probably equally if I were to pick. I'm not a huge fan of Auckland, if I'm going to be honest. I've never lived there, so that's a little bit unfair to say, but...
Yeah, I did my 3 years in Auckland. And,
Did you?
You
lived there?
I'm happy not living in Auckland anymore, so that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's warmer there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's more accessible.
Yeah,
it's more accessible. It's warmer. Shipping is easier. But again, the cons: housing is more expensive. There's more people.
It's windy in Wellington. It's definitely windy. It's not too warm compared to like if you head anywhere north.
Yeah.
Basically, here's the deal: you are not going to be unhappy anywhere you live in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
We do have for you, Mark. We do have a video on our channel which is called North Island versus South Island. And it's Laura and I literally going at it and challenging, championing our favorite island and debating
that's
it.
good.
So you may want to check this one out to help you decide. And let's keep going. You guys are really chatty today. I love it. By the way, remember to hit like. You know that I always forget to tell you that. So just hit like if you want to. It's a button that exists. Here we go,
So
Nathan.
Reggie's, I think I already answered. Where did I go?
Oh,
Where
yeah,
did I
yeah,
live
so, yeah.
before? Does essential skill work visa require any English language requirements?
Okay, Rajesh. So there's a law in New
Rajesh.
Zealand as we are not able to give you immigration advice as we are not registered immigration advisor. However, to know all the requirements for all the different visas, you can head to can you head? immigration.govt.nz.
Yes.
There is a link in
Everything's
the
on
description of this video. You just click at the bottom, on the video, there's the title, there's a little arrow that goes down. You click on there and there's a big link dump that gives you all the links. So immigration.govt.nz, that's the official Immigration New Zealand's website, and it's ton of information. It's super easy to use. So check that out. What is Joski saying?
My daughter is an architectural designer in Christchurch and lives on the South Shore. How nice. I have visited New Zealand 8 times and have traveled both islands and just love it. I particularly love the hiking trails, yes. Like I like to tell Robin, everything that's the most amazing in New Zealand is free. It's just the outdoors you don't need anything else. It's everything.
I am going to ask you something, Joski, and that is a strong hint to Tara for an information that I think she should remember for what may or may not happen during our Patreon special live session. So is your daughter living nearby Lake Ellesmere, maybe? Just putting that out there. Remember that. Levens, what is Levens saying?
No.
What is Levens saying right here?
I'm sorry. Hello, I really wonder what
She's so stressed.
Oh, great. I don't even know. I really wonder that whether working holiday applications will open or not for 2022 from offshore. May Tara lighten us up this topic.
Do you want me to talk about the working holiday visa? Okay. So, Levent, the Immigration New Zealand has paused at the moment all the application for working holiday visas because they actually are restructuring a lot of the different visa application and a lot of different visa process that they're currently doing right now. So there is no date that has been set by Immigration New Zealand as to when working holiday visas are going to be reopened. What Immigration New Zealand has done is, in order to plug the gap in the job market in New Zealand that usually are taken up by working holiday makers, i.e. Things such as fruit pickers and horticultural workers, they have implemented or they have pushed more the RSC visas, which allows people from the Pacific Island nations, which are relatively COVID-free at the moment, to come to New Zealand and plug those job gaps.
That's right.
So they've been doing that in order to balance things out. So that's the first thing that has been happening. Sorry, my phone was ringing because I'm terrible at turning off my phone for those things. So that's the first thing that has been happening. So New Zealand doesn't need the working holiday makers just right now. So they're not in a rush in restarting that program. However, one of the things that's going to be happening is that when we do have set dates as to when the New Zealand borders are going to reopen without any restrictions, then Immigration New Zealand is going to give their plans into reopening those kind of visitor visa, because the working holiday visa, it's still kind of it's half a work visa and half a visitor's visa. So it's more going to be put into the category of visitor visas, people that come here for a gap year in New Zealand. And so only at that point, only when they know, Immigration New Zealand knows when the borders are going to reopen, they will make an announcement for that. And we do news really regularly on this channel. So you hit subscribe, you'll get notification. As soon as we get some information, we'll obviously talk about it because, backpacking New Zealand is a big topic. Whew. But that's the truth. That's literally like the factual truth right here without any...
that is, that's some really good information, actually.
All right, what is Joey saying?
Answered. Joey, are we back to where we need to be? Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm convinced Queenstown is heaven on earth. Going there 3 times isn't enough. Expect me to be there another 20 times at least. Joey, awesome. Hopefully you're close.
Joey's lucky. Yeah, he's in Australia, so
he's close. Okay. Yeah. So that's a nice flight from Australia. Nice. Okay.
What is Charlie saying?
Charlie's saying, have you guys been to every New Zealand city?
I mean, I have. We definitely. So I don't know if you remember, Charlie, but we did New Zealand's biggest gap year, in which we did 300 activities all around New Zealand in 365 days. And that took us all around the country. So from Oban, which is literally the small town in Stewart Island, all the way to Cape Reinga, which is literally just a lighthouse and not a city. We've been to all of those places and everywhere in between. But yeah, so we've been to all those places right here. I have to say, as part of the New Zealand territories, there is something called the Chatham Islands, which is far off of the shore of New Zealand, and that's one of the places that Laura and I have not visited, but it's pretty tough to get there at the moment and everything, so we haven't been there. And also, it's not a city, it's considered as a little town. Have you been to every city?
I have not been to every city. As I just said, I haven't been to Invercargill.
Yes, that's true.
But I have been to almost all of them. So there is definitely some spots that we've missed. We originally immigrated here for 2 years, and then we went back to the States for 2 years, and now we've been back again for 4 years. And so in those first 2 years, we went and saw everything. And now we are revisiting and going back to a lot of places and seeing those couple that we haven't been to before. So, yeah, we're getting there. We're almost there.
All right, so Ahmad is answering your question. So he's watching from Jordan.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so far. So I love how exotic you all are. I just love it. Okay, so
in
he said,
school.
I have two available options right now. I can do a PhD in New Zealand, and the other one is doing a PhD in Virginia, USA. I feel like I tend more to live in New Zealand. Any recommendations? Okay, so compare the US and New Zealand for him to go do a PhD.
Well,
What do you think?
It would be really great to know what your PhD is in.
So do you want to wait for him to tell you that?
Well, I mean, I can say a couple things, and then he can tell me that. So I would say, okay, so yes, obviously, I'm a big fan of living in New Zealand, but I think a couple years in the U.S. would be interesting for you as well. Yeah, it would just depend, because once you're getting into those higher degrees, where you go and what, in terms of what you're, where you go matters. Like when you're getting your bachelor's degree, it doesn't really matter. You just need the piece of paper. But once you're getting your PhD, like the school and where you go matters in terms of like your growth in the area that you're going to.
So PhD is a thicker piece of paper, right?
Yeah. It's a bigger, like your master's and then your PhD.
You're talking to a professor right here, right? I am an uneducated moron and you have a professor right here. So, for me, PhD is just a thicker piece of paper than the bachelor.
So, there's going to be specialties that are better in New Zealand and specialties that will be better for you. And I think that you should do what makes sense for the actual PhD that you're getting. Or if that doesn't really matter and you just want to have 2 or 3 years in New Zealand, then that's fine.
All right, so Hama, tell us which PhD you're doing so we can have some follow-up.
Yes.
In the meantime, Clay says...
I have friends here in Dunedin who were from Wisconsin originally. Oh, that's cool. Where in Wisconsin are they from?
And how can I connect with some
Yeah, what
people?
did you think of them?
Yes,
Why
and
don't you be honest?
And did they invite you for Thanksgiving? Because apparently it's a big thing. Then I was not invited to her Thanksgiving. So, okay, B+N. What does B+N say about Dunedin and Invercargill?
Okay, this one. Okay, we love Dunedin and Invercargill. We are considering moving there when we can. Really?
There you go.
Really?
You see, it's not bad. It's really
I really
good.
can't speak to it. I haven't been there.
Good.
I actually would consider moving to Dunedin. I'm really impressed with that.
Tosif says, hello from Pakistan, Tara and Robin. How are you doing, mate?
Pakistan,
awesome.
Nice.
We have Violet Zulu. She's in South Africa. She comes regularly and she says, good morning.
Good morning.
We have Tosif. He says, what are the chances to open with visit visas application after April 30th? So that's what I was just talking about, right? On the April 30th, 2022, the New Zealand government is going to reopen its border to people which have a valid visa to come. So all travelers can come, but you still will have the requirement of self-isolation for 7 days at your own cost. So you will be able to get a visit visas, but you will have to be able to bear the brunt of that extra cost and that extra time cost as well for your travel, for you when traveling in New Zealand. So that will not incentivize many visitors to come to New Zealand. And then after that, things are going to slowly ease the restrictions as the situation improves and evolves around the world. So we don't have set dates right now, but as soon as we do have some new plans, you saw us doing some extensive videos on the subject when news breaks. So just make sure you stay subscribed and we'll
it's
let
a very
you know.
Fluid situation.
Yes,
so like what we know now, it's like it changes constantly and you're actually a little bit surprised. Like you don't always know. So yeah, it's hard to plan. It's very frustrating.
So Rajesh has been very nice and polite and says thank you with a nice emoji. I love it.
Nice, thank you.
Baby Burns,
Baby Burns.
2 weeks in a row you're popping in. Awesome. It's a
sup, Robin.
And hi, Tara.
Hi.
You know, I'm one cool kid, so I understand the sup and the yos. I'm definitely in with the kids.
He's definitely
I think and I talk a lot. Like whoa, dancing the stuff.
I'm getting him on the TikTok, guys. It's about to get good. You're gonna want to follow.
No, I mean, don't follow me. What is that nonsense? Okay, Violet says special greetings to Tara.
Oh,
and
hello,
then
Violet.
She said, it's raining here in Pretoria, South Africa. I hope I'm not going to be interrupted. Well, it's raining a lot here in New Zealand too, so it is raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, earlier this week we
outside,
had flooding in Wellington area,
Wow.
like real flooding, like cars floating. I wasn't there. I was in Queenstown. But
and you live on top of the hill as well.
Yeah.
Good, right?
We were
okay,
worried.
Good.
But like everybody's sending me all these pictures and videos of everything. So yeah, lots and lots of rain.
Bonjour Demba. So Demba is from Senegal, where they do speak French in Senegal. I don't know if you know that, but yeah. So what is Demba saying?
How I get a working holiday visa, I want to travel in New Zealand.
All right, so to get a working holiday visa, you need to be part of the 42 different countries that qualify for a working holiday visa in New Zealand, and you need to apply on the New Zealand immigration website, which is immigration.govt.nz. If you want to find a link to that, you can check the description of this video. There is a URL, you just click on there and bam, you're there. And if you want some help to apply for your working holiday visa, you can head to NZ Pocket Guide. I will show you what it looks like. Actually, and Tara will disappear from screen just for a moment. I promise she'll be back. But here you go. If you see the screen right now, I will show you how to get there. So you go on Work in New Zealand right here and you click on Working Holiday Visa just right here. You close the ads because sometimes I need to eat. And you...
It's true.
And right here, you will have plenty of articles, including a guide, part 1, part 2, and here part 3, to walk you through the entire process of applying for the Working Holiday Visa and do it on your own, easy as. All right, Tara, you're back
really
on
nice.
screen.
That's so cool.
She was making a lot of faces
I
when
was
she was
making
on
a lot
screen.
of faces.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
All right. So yeah, so that's all the stuff you need to know just right here on the side. I know it's a little bit of a plug, it's a bit tacky, but seriously, we put our heart and soul into the website trying to help you.
It's not tacky. It's a great website.
It
really
is.
is.
I love myself.
Oh, my goodness.
I dance on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got him on video with the dance, so maybe the Patreon is going to get that video. It was hilarious, you guys. It was so early, and he is like hyped up. Like I'm like this, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm a morning person.
He's a morning person.
So
I'm
Joski,
a morning person, but not like that.
Joski is... Oh, no, sorry. Levent says, thank you for the elaborate explanation.
Yes.
You're very welcome, Levent. What is Joski saying? I think you need to read that. And you need to remember that location, I think.
Not near Lake Ellesmere. Yeah. She lives in the southern end of the peninsula south of Brighton Beach.
Brighton Beach is a fantastic surf spot. So are you into surfing, or is your daughter into surfing? If she's not, why is she not? Because that's one of the best spots to surf.
Because she likes the surfers.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Sorry, Dad.
Don't be all like a good surfer. Levin says that I did the whole explanation without breathing. Yeah, you know, I've done this one quite a while, so I can do it in my sleep. Sometimes I just sleep at night and I wake up.
Okay, did you get everything he was saying? Levin?
Yeah, was I speaking too fast?
Is he going
too
fast? Because we could slow down.
Yeah, she's been trying to teach me that this week.
Yes.
Okay, so Sayan says, is there always winter in New Zealand?
Oh,
Not from India.
no.
All right, tell him a little bit about it.
No, I mean, I think it's going to feel cold if you're coming from India.
Yeah. So in India, what I found is that people coming from India, they're always really stressed about the weather. They think it's always really cold in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
So give them your experience a little bit. Is it always cold in New
Oh,
Zealand?
well, I guess it's hard for me to say because I'm from Wisconsin, which is very cold for 6 months of the year. So here it's not cold. To me, it's amazingly not cold. You know, we have a winter period, you know, so it's like June, July, kind of August time frame here. And, you know, it's not bad. So like for me, you know, it's winter. Well, in the North Island, it's not as bad. I think it's definitely colder in the South Island. And so what I would say about it is, okay, this is what I really like about winters here in New Zealand is that it can be cold, right? And then you'll have a stunning day for like a day or two, and it's beautiful. I mean, you could even go to the beach, probably not in the water, but like it's really warm, and it just makes the 3 months that you're in the winter mode really easy to, you know, you know how like when you're sitting in the winter and it's like, I guess you don't know if you're in India, but you're just like, you just need the sun, and it just makes it really like not a big deal because you're like cold, but then you have these stunning days and you can get out and you can be warm, and I just really love that. Like that's really a selling point for me.
And one thing you need to keep in mind as well is just we have the season, the opposite side of the planet, right? Yeah. So in New Zealand, the seasons are that in summer, it's going to be December, January, and February. And then in the winter, it's going to be June, July, and August. So you have to remember that it's going to be the opposite side. So depending on when you travel around New Zealand, you will get slightly bit different weather. So if you're planning a trip to New Zealand and you're really afraid about you know, the weather, and you're really scared of being cold, then at that point you may want to decide to travel in New Zealand between December and February, because that's going to be our hottest period and our hottest season. All right, so Clay is saying that his friends are from
Milwaukee.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
you need to connect us.
Here you go.
I need to talk to some people from Milwaukee. I love meeting other Americans. There aren't that many here, actually, to be honest.
So Clay, you can find Tara on Facebook with the handle, which is literally just, can you point?
Can
you point?
Can I point?
Yeah, so it's just right
there
here.
I am. Sorry,
here
I'm
you
new
go.
at this. Ooh,
Boom, there is a handle right here. You can find her on
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. It's all the same. Just Kiwi Americans with an S. So.
Here you go. And can you say hi, Bautista? Look at the camera and say hi, Bautista.
Hi, Bautista.
Here you go.
Why are you having me do that?
That's Clay's son, and every time he's freaking out when he's on TV. So here you go.
That's so cool.
When the TV says his name, he's always freaking out. So that's always.
I love that.
See, this time wasn't me, Bautista. And we're not live. Again, we're not live. Your dad is lying to you. Tosif, what is Tosif saying?
I am your regular live watching viewer. Thank you for your reply about my query.
Always happy to help,
that's
Tosif.
really nice. People are so nice.
I know people are nice.
I love
People which are joining us in the live session are always a lovely
They're
guest.
so nice. They're like, they even wrote a comment thanking you. Okay.
I know
I
that,
love it.
that was, and on top of it, a lot of them use emojis, and that makes my day.
You like emojis?
Yes, I always ask people to.
What's your favorite emoji, Robin?
It depends. Currently, I'm using the purple heart. I love it. I don't know. It's the one I like a lot right now. But I've been doing like the sunglasses face with the peace sign.
My gosh!
I've been doing that a lot. I've been doing this one a lot. I don't know. I have phases with my emojis. What is David Burrow saying?
David
all the way on
Burrow.
top?
We have heavy snow in the U.S. Midwest yesterday. Oh, really? Yeah. So rain actually sounds nice. Totally. Like rain is so much better than snow when you've lived through a whole winter of snow. When spring comes and it starts raining, you're like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Because it's stressful to drive in the snow. That's true because my friend from Wisconsin was just texting this morning how bad the weather was and she was scared to drive she had quite a distance to go. And so, yeah, sorry. I don't miss that, I gotta say.
I just realized that I forgot to tell people we have the poll this week, and the poll this week is what's your favorite homegrown New Zealand food? So is it your kiwi fruit? You prefer kiwi fruit, feijoas, or kumara? And if you guys don't know, kumara is way better than American sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, it's not the same. I didn't eat any sweet potatoes. I ate kumara all the time here.
But yes, don't forget to vote. All right,
cool.
So no, we missed some people. We missed some people.
Definitely missed some people.
David Christina, how are you doing, my dear?
You know all these people.
Yeah, well, they come all the time.
Love
so yeah.
that.
So what's Christina saying?
Okay, hello to both. Hello. Been a while again, but we had a busy few weeks. Hope you are all well.
We all
so
well
nice.
indeed. How's your husband doing? Is he?
Where does she live?
Christina, I think she is.
Sorry, not to put you on.
No. Yeah, I want to spoil. I always forget if she's from Australia or the US. She's one of those two. I think she's in Australia. I think you're in Australia, Christina. She was watching us from the polls
you better
last time.
be right,
so yeah. If I'm wrong, Christina, you can unsubscribe. You can hit dislike.
Okay.
And I know it's gonna be a breakup. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Nathan's asking, what do you usually do leading up to Christmas in America? Great question.
Okay, we're going to start. I'm just going to go, and she's going to be here for about half an hour. All right, let's go. Tell us about Christmas.
Actually, I just did a video on my YouTube channel that's going live at noon today if you want to watch it, talking about Christmas around the world. And we talk a lot about the U.S., but basically, so the third weekend of November is Thanksgiving, and so you have off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless you're in retail. And so basically you have Thanksgiving with your family on Thursday, and then Friday is Black Friday, and it's the kickoff to the Christmas shopping season. And so then it's immediately get your tree up because you want, it's so pretty and the sparkle lights, and you want it up as long as you can possibly do it. And then it's just a lot of shopping. It's a lot of consumerism in the U.S., to be honest. And then there's like a million parties, a million school things, and then you go Christmas caroling, which I don't know that they do in New Zealand.
So I was about to ask, what are the things that you were used to doing in America for Christmas and that you can't do in New Zealand or you don't have in New Zealand? Like, for example, in New Zealand, do you have the carolers going door to door coming to sing carols? Does it happen?
I haven't seen that.
So you haven't seen that. Okay. Is there anything that comes to your mind that you usually that used to in America?
It's cold for one. The hardest thing to get used to is, it's warm, which is great, initially, but, I would really like a cold Christmas, to be honest, right now. But it's also the fact that it's because we're heading into summer, it doesn't get dark until like 10 o'clock at night. So you can't really enjoy the lights, and it seems kind of pointless. So you're not like motivated to decorate your house. You're not like cold and staying inside, and, you don't have much else to do. So you do a lot of decorating. They don't over commercialize it, so there isn't like tons of decorations. I've used the same decorations, the whole 6 years that I've been here.
So lack of winter hours and winter weather.
And then the fact that they don't have eggnog in the grocery store is very frustrating to me.
Yeah, but that's literally the world's worst drink, isn't it?
Okay.
I mean, come on. Would you drink eggnog at any other time than Christmas time?
Yes.
Really?
I love it.
In
fact, I just went live last week teaching everybody because nobody in New Zealand knew what it was. And I was like, wait a minute.
Is it something that you can homemade, or is it like too
Yes, I make it homemade here because I don't have a choice. But like they don't even have like eggnog lattes. Like what? It's like my dream drink. It's like, so I have that. Me and my son are the only one in the family that like it. And so we have it when we decorate the tree and, so yeah.
Is there any other food item that you like? Your pumpkin spice latte, can you find that in New Zealand easily? Or?
Yeah, so that's more fall. So you're kind of
fall,
through that.
sorry.
So you're through that. So now it's the eggnog latte. It's
Okay.
going to be the peppermint latte. It's going to be the gingerbread. It's going to be all of that.
Can you find that easily in New Zealand, gingerbread?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to
cool.
Starbucks,
Yeah.
but, otherwise. Yeah, so some of the things that are different. So in New Zealand, they'll have... Okay, so I was here for, I think, 4 years before I ever, opened a Christmas cracker. I didn't know what that was. I heard of it. So it's like these things, and you open it, and it'll poof, and the stuff pops out, and
so
then you
the
get
tradition, just so you guys know, the
there
tradition
is
is
a
that
tradition?
both people hold one, and then you pull the cracker, and the person that get the whole thing
Okay,
get
so
the whole thing.
I've done it wrong.
That's why there's a bang inside.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a bang.
So you get two people that put their hand inside one of the side, and you just pull, and the person that get the big part is the person that keeps the present in there.
Oh.
So that's. I was told by Laura, guys, we don't do that.
And sometimes there's a little prize or a chocolate, and then you get this paper crown.
And the
that
best
you can wear
jokes in
around.
the world all the time in there. Very well written, those jokes. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so those
jokes.
were totally new to me.
Yeah.
I am seeing a lot of, and I've been posting this on my social, a lot of, what is it, that weird cake, the fruit cake. The fruit cake. I know, who eats that? But somebody's eating it. Because it's everywhere in the grocery store. They're not going to be putting it out if people aren't eating it. But everybody's responding, nobody eats that, nobody eats that. So in the U.S., if you want to give someone a bad gift, you're giving them... if you want to say...
He's a knife of coal in the
I
fruit
don't
cake.
really like you. Yes. That's 100%
So when you
true.
get at Christmas, when you get Secret Santa at work and it ends up being like Brian from accounts that you hate,
Yeah.
it's fruitcake and love and
Fruitcake,
coal.
Brian.
Yeah,
Merry
okay,
Christmas.
cool.
And
Nice.
there's another thing that they have here that I've never heard of, and it took me a while to eat, is called Christmas mince pies, because mince is ground beef here in New Zealand, and so I thought it was meat. But it actually just means how they mince up all the fruit.
Like fruit, yeah.
Yeah, they
so
just mince up the
just
fruit.
so you guys can picture it in your mind, right? So Christmas mince pie are gonna be about that big. And they're gonna be the same like little tartlets basically. That's gonna be the bottom.
Yeah.
In there, you're gonna chop a lot of fruit, and you're gonna kind of make them a little bit like confit.
Have you made it?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So you're gonna make them like a little confit and like a bit like a jam. You put it in there, and then you do a crisscross with.
Okay, so don't buy them in
crust
the store. Only eat them homemade.
It really doesn't taste good, and even when it's homemade, it really does. I'm not a big fan of it, but yeah, they are part of those as Christmas tradition. That
It's
everybody
good
kind
if
of
it's
have
homemade. What do you mean?
maybe we just stuffed it up. It wasn't great, but
Yeah.
All
Must
right.
be you.
So moving on, Hamad is saying that he's doing a PhD in civil engineering. So yes, please come to New Zealand and fix all our potholes, please. That would be the one I'm asking.
Where is that at? Go up a little bit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
And then what is B+ saying?
Okay, hold on. I just want to finish this
Oh, yeah,
PhD
sorry.
one. I've covered all of the info about New Zealand, so I feel mentally prepared to go to New Zealand over the U.S. I lived in the UK before and think that New Zealand is similar, but I'm a bit hesitant. Okay, I can totally answer this question.
Okay, go.
Yes. When you come to New Zealand, it is very similar to the UK. All of its traditions and ways that they do things are very English. So you will feel very comfortable here. If you go to Australia, it's very American. So when I go to Australia, I feel, why would I live here? Because it feels like America.
too similar.
It's too similar.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, I like to be different. At least
So if you're
feel
seeking
like,
comfort, if you want something different than what you have experienced in the UK, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Go to
Go
the
to
US.
yeah,
But if
go to
you
the
feel
US,
like
yeah.
you are looking for something which is as comfortable as you were in the UK,
but in
go to
terms
New
of what
Zealand.
you're studying, I would say either country would be fine.
No, I say come to New Zealand. Please fix our potholes.
Yes, please.
Yes. What is B+ saying?
New
Which
Zealand
really
is
behind
not
on
cold,
comments.
but inside some cold houses are cold. Yes, so cold in the houses. It is a big adjustment, especially when you come from a country or an area of a country that is very cold, and like you come here and it's not very cold, but they don't know how to heat the house. It's shocking, and it's not good. I was literally in my first house. I was getting up, putting gloves on, hat, scarf, everything just to make breakfast. That's so cold. It's sometimes warmer outside than it is inside when the sun comes out. So they're getting much better at it. They're fixing all of that with laws and regulations for insulation. And so it's much better, but yeah. So if that's an adjustment. So when you're renting or buying a house here, definitely pay attention to when you get the sun and the heating options and yeah. So
Clay saying even the name drop when you said hi to Bautista just surprised him.
awesome.
So Zealand Gaming is talking about
Yes.
entertainment in New Zealand, and he's asking if New Zealand have some conflict with Australia. So one thing I'm just going to show you quickly.
Okay.
It's not working right now. Just give me a second. This one here. Boom. I'm just going to show you right here on the site, mate. So if you go on nzpocketguide.com and in the search bar, you look for Rivalry. That's why you're going to be typing right here in the search box Rivalry. You have a full article about, in details, the rivalry between New Zealand and Australia.
Oh,
so if you want to learn more about that, you see there's a big article just right here with all of that. But yeah, there is a tongue-in-cheek. So tongue-in-cheek means kind of like, just like a funny, it's kind of like just teasing. It's more like, brother, siblings, kind of like just teasing, right? It's not, there's no bad blood, right? But there's a tongue-in-cheek kind of rivalry between New Zealand, with rugby, cricket, just all these kind of sports. And even, when you have a group of Kiwis and a group of Aussies, when they meet together, there's always a little bit of rivalry.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like US and Canada.
Yeah, that's basically exactly
we don't really like each other, but like if someone were to attack us, we would be together. We'd be allies.
Exactly,
just like New Zealand and Australia would be allies together.
But, when it comes down to playing hockey or stuff like that, they will kind of go at it and it's just more fun. So, yes, there is a little bit of that in tongue-in-cheek. So, yeah, check out on the website. If you want to actually dig deeper into that, we have like a lot of like points and details for you on that one.
Nice.
All right, Joey, what is Joey saying?
What is Joy saying? Guys, what's your favorite activity in Queenstown?
Ooh, so do you want to pick one and I pick one?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So in Queenstown, my favorite activity I would pick, and you guys know I say that all the time. It changes from one week to another. It's what I would feel like doing right now, and it has been really, really, really hot lately in New Zealand. So I will go to do whitewater rafting. Why would I do whitewater rafting in Queenstown? You may ask. Because during the whitewater rafting season in New Zealand, so in Queenstown, there is a lot of different rapids that you can be doing, different rivers. But one of the best one you can do is in the Kawerau River. I'm speaking too fast. One of the best one you can do is in the Kawerau River. And at the end of your rafting tour, you even whitewater raft through a tunnel, an old mining tunnel that is now flooded. And that's literally the only place in New Zealand you can whitewater raft in the dark through a tunnel, and that's really epic. So right now, if I had to pick one activity to do in New Zealand, so in Queenstown as my favorite, that would be whitewater rafting. If you have to pick one, which one is it and why?
I have not been whitewater rafting in Queenstown, so now I want to.
There you go.
But so like if I go to if you've never been to Queenstown, you're going there, do not hesitate to go to Milford Sound. That would be my advice.
That's a really fantastic tour.
Because it's like you get on a boat or you can do it by plane. Also recommend that. I've done it by plane. Amazing.
When it's still available, do it.
Yes, because it's so untouched. It's like something I cannot wait to go back. I definitely need to go back there. It's been a while.
I was wrong about Christina. She's from Canada. I should remember that. Oh my God.
So you weren't even right at all.
I know.
You said America.
Okay. How can I
gosh.
can I be forgiven, Christina? I feel terrible. And she's saying her husband is doing well. I've even applied to some job in New Zealand.
Oh, cool.
As we have been discussing moving there, if at all possible. We are older, kids are 21 and 19, so don't know if we can. You should reach out to Tara. So you should actually check out her channel. She also has services where you can actually connect with her and she can help you out with all these kind of things, talking about different school district and all these kind of things. She can walk you through all that. She's done that. She has kids. Anyway, so she can help a lot of different. I don't know if school district would matter if they're 19 and 21. I don't know. I don't know if that kind of age is like fine. I think they're adults, right? They're on their own. Just
they're on their own.
Why they're still living here? Just keep them
out. You should
come. Reach out to her. She does help with that. So
so if you work with immigration and and it looks like you can, it's really going to come down to whether your skills in the job market are in demand. I think is probably the best bet for you to get here. Otherwise, on your, I guess you would have a Canadian passport. You could come for a couple months and just have a trip.
Nice. Okay. Guys, we only have 15 minutes left with you. That time flies. Do you think there's been are you tired now, or are you still on the sugar rush from the massive cake we just had? Good. That's good, because we also have another hour special with the Patreons. If you guys want to join us for the hour, check out Patreon. There's a link in the description below, and you'll be accessing another hour to hang out with us and playing a game. Do you remember what you have to remember?
Oh, crap. That lake.
That's okay. You'll remember it at some point.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Clay says, I thought Laura would be in the comment section with us causing mischief or asking important questions about New Zealand. That's
Clay, you
she's
do know the
nice.
states of our internet. Laura does not have the right to watch a live session in the next room. She's literally is using the internet on her phone in order for us to be able to stream that live session
that's
without
true.
it breaking. But we may get fiber one day. So here you go. Keep on joining us in Patreon so we can get fiber.
Yes.
Baby Burns, what's Baby Burns saying?
Last time I visited in May. Okay, last time I visited was in May. Next year, if the border open, I will go to New Zealand again. Do you recommend to go before it snows or in the middle of winter with all the snow? Camper vanning for sure, by the way.
So I personally would recommend to go during winter because first up you get less people there. It's cheaper to rent camper van and all that jazz. And honestly, if you do rent a decent camper van, they're actually well insulated. We did an entire year with New Zealand during New Zealand's biggest gap year, and we really didn't have any problem with that. I personally backpacked literally with one of those cars like 10 years ago that just had a mattress in the back, and I did that in winter, and I was absolutely fine. Didn't get cold at all, and I do love New Zealand in winter. The sceneries are fantastic. You save a lot of money, and Clay is right, eggnog is disgusting. Transition right here.
Okay, Clay, you need to try my eggnog.
There you go. Claire, you've just been invited to Wellington. Pack your bag. Bring all your kids as well.
No, go to my live session replay and make it and try it.
No, she's making it for you.
No, it's you either love it or you hate it. That's really what it comes down to. Sometimes it's a texture issue.
Speaking about loving or hating it, how about Marmite?
Oh boy.
How about that Marmite? What do you think about it? Marmite, love it or hate it?
I don't like it.
So hate it.
Yeah. Well, I don't like Vegemite either.
Okay.
Do you? Do you like it?
It's not food, is it? Let's be honest. It's like tar
It's
seed.
salty.
It's tar seed. You make roads out of it. That's why we have potholes.
I don't know. It's hard for me to get past the color too.
Yeah.
It's so dark.
No, it's
I
not
don't know.
great.
It feels weird. I don't know.
But Baby Burns, I will personally say, especially in the camper van, just because like that will really save you a lot of money. I will travel in a winter. But yeah, that's just my take on it.
But I think that there's not going to be a lot of people here over the next couple of years, so I don't think you're going to have tons of people. So really any time of the year. So. Yeah.
I don't know what that means, Susan. Wow tech.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? I think she's trying to do a dinosaur noise right here. Did you watch the last Jurassic World and then you just like, I'm a T-Rex now? That's okay to be a T-Rex? What are you saying? Oh,
does New Zealand have conflict with
We just talked about it already.
Yeah.
So we read all the comments, guys. We just read them in order. Okay, what do we have? Clay, B plus N doesn't like fruitcake either. Yeah, you and I.
Except for Christina says her husband likes fruitcake and he just finished one. Mincemeat is also a favorite. Mincemeat.
But B plus N, she does know her snacks. She's the snack queen.
Okay,
we have the first lady of YouTube right here, and we have the first lady of snacking in the live comments right here. So here you go, many first ladies around, and
Okay, so April 30th. Okay, so
where are we on?
Okay, Yamasudo. April 30th is too far for tourists and temporary resident visa holder.
Yeah, so New Zealand is not going to welcome tourists until quite a while, because even past the April 30th, right, as a tourist, you still have to do the self-isolation. That restriction does not come out on April the 30th. It is still in place post April the 30th. So even if you're coming on the 15th of May, and you have a valid visa to come, you still have to do self-isolation for 7 days, and you still have to pay for that. So just remember that, and please just watch my video, which has all of that information. I go through everything in details while watching with you guys the video of the announcement. So yeah, please just watch that video so you know the right information.
Joey is like, Australia is nothing like America. We got health insurance, but seriously, we are our own entity. Yes. You're right. Sorry. I'm just saying the feel of the culture. So what's great about Australia is you kind of get all of the benefits.
That's right, Joey. You tell
that you enjoy in New Zealand, in Australia. And you do have a lot better shopping there. There are a lot of benefits to Australia.
And Joey, yes, Australia is different, obviously, than the US. And I lived in both, in just like
definitely different.
In like as a backpacker and everything. They definitely are different. But if you have to find similarities. And I know Australians don't like to say that. I definitely agree with Tara that Australia would be more similar to the US than it is to the UK. So that's more the comparison that we're doing. It's like if we have to find something to compare it to, that would be more the US than the UK. But we were absolutely not saying that Australia did not have its own identity.
No, of
definitely.
course.
I mean, you guys have like those kangaroo jumping things, and they don't even have that. So
no,
how boring is the US?
I mean, koala is my favorite animal.
I mean, do you guys in the US have any jumping type of animals? If you don't have any jumping animals, you're a boring country.
You could get
kind of
some squirrels to jump quite a bit.
Here you go.
Or
So you see, not a boring country.
raccoons jumping on my trash cans.
I remember when I lived in Vancouver in Canada, there was so many squirrels. Like I'd never seen that many squirrels in my life. It's riddled with squirrels, which technically are just fancy rats. But
they are, yeah.
They're just rats turned fancy.
They're fighting New Zealand against Australia.
Yeah. Here you go, Clay.
Red carded. Nice.
Nice. Good job, Extreme Talauta. You're not going to referee today. So Extreme Talauta, he's living in a lovely town of Tokoroa, and he's a rugby referee, and usually leaves about an 8:45. He's leaving because he has to go train to stay in shape to do referee for rugby.
Good on you.
Okay, what is VFNZ saying?
Okay, NZ is so expensive regarding housing and buying electronics or any technology things, even petrol, food. But why do you think we still need to stay in New Zealand with such expensive stuff?
Well, I think New Zealand draws you in with an amazing culture, fantastic landscape, and all these kind of things. Like the lifestyle here is absolutely amazing. But yes, anything that you do have to import in New Zealand obviously comes as a little bit of a premium. New Zealand is an island. It's really isolated, super far at the bottom of the world. In fact, so far at the bottom of the world and so small that most maps forget to put New Zealand on there. Hey, map makers.
I know, right?
It's hard to find even for shipping companies, right? They have a hard time bringing things to New Zealand because it's not even on the map. Well, how do you bring something to somewhere which is not even on the map? Anyway, jokes aside, it is quite expensive to ship things all the way to New Zealand, and therefore, as a consumer, you cannot have to pay that extra premium. However, if you're satisfied with adapting your lifestyle to what New Zealand has to offer and what New Zealand makes locally, then at that point you are able to kind of live at a decent kind of pace, and you should be able to actually have a fantastic life in New Zealand. Also, New Zealand kind of offset a lot of those costs with the fact that the minimum wage here is actually quite high. The minimum wage in New Zealand is $20 an hour, so that allows you to have a little bit more flexibility into your budget. I'm obviously not saying that everybody will be able to afford everything. That's not what I'm saying.
Even if you make a lot of money.
Exactly. So you can.
You decide what's important.
That helps you balance this kind of cost. So New Zealand still took a hard, but obviously there is always pros and cons in wherever you decide to spend time.
Right, like those things are more expensive, but I found because I lived here for 2 years, went back to the U.S. for 2 years, and my disposable income was more in New Zealand because of healthcare costs, of taxes, of other things that you're not necessarily thinking of. So depending on what you're comparing.
Fabio is back, and what is Anthony saying? I told you would say that. What is Anthony saying?
Oh, Anthony. Stay safe. I'm here till the end.
I briefed her. I told her that you and Nathan had a bit of a competition and that maybe one of you guys is going to be winning. Fabio say he will rewatch the stream. Just come to the Patreon as well. We'll play some games and everything. And what is Amjad saying about his PhD?
Oh, okay, guys. Thanks a lot. I will come to New Zealand and meet you in person. I'll be more than happy to be a guest on your channels. Have a nice weekend.
There you go. He invited himself. Look at that. Just take her seat, kick her like just a little bit of elbow work. It works. And,
Yes, I got the.
It's what she did to Laura anyway. She was like, see how sharp those elbows are? Get out. Laura is just mending her wounds over there. That's what's happening. People were asking where she is. She's just over there putting plasters and Band-Aid. What is Clay saying?
Oh, Clay's saying, I tried to make it once, but basically made scrambled eggs. Oh, yes.
Yeah, eggnog is actually hard to make.
Enough. No, it isn't hard to make. You just have to temper the eggs. I'm telling you, watch my live. So, Growing Up Without Borders. Hey, guys. Funny. So, I did the live on making the eggnog with Chantel from Growing Up Without Borders. Nice. So, go check out that channel as well. It's really
cool. Is it on her channel or is it on your channel?
No, it's on my channel.
What are we talking
about? But we do a lot. I do a lot of collabs with Chantel from Growing Up Without Borders. So if you don't know, they're a family of 5 that have traveled to 100 countries.
5 kids?
No, family of 5.
Okay,
so 3 kids, 3 girls, and they have traveled to 100 countries, and they're very cool. So check out their channel as well.
Have you guys decided ever to travel together to make it like the 10-some traveling around New Zealand? Because I feel like you guys are really close to that team.
When they come to Wellington, they'll stay with us, or that's who I stayed with when I was in Queenstown. So
at that point, you guys ran a bus. Is that what happens? Like is it like a caravan going? Like I'm picturing caravans.
Yeah, but they're
camels
they're waiting for their visa, so they're kind of in that instability. They don't know, can they stay here? Do they have to go? So it's
nice.
Like that. But,
and so they're based in Queenstown.
Yeah, well, no, they travel around. They just happen to be in Queenstown for a couple weeks. So
cool. So check them out. And hi,
Yeah.
Chantal. How are you doing? We have VFZen. They say, education-wise, for kids. Oh, here you go. You're the expert.
Oh, boy.
So which country is best? Okay, so
well,
we're going
what
to compare
countries
US
are
and
we?
New Zealand.
Okay, U.S. and New Zealand. Okay. Well, I would say it's hard to say best. I get this question all of the time. I'm going to say that they're different. Okay. What they value and what they try to teach children is very different. So in New Zealand, it's going to be your all-around person. So like they care that you know how to swim. They care that everybody has had exposure to being, in music and in play. So in primary age, they get exposure to all the sports, all the arts, and that's really great because so many kids will just be like, I don't want to do that. But really, they've never tried it. Okay. And so that's really great. Whereas, and they're definitely more project based and more like, a little more loosey-goosey, let's say, than like the U.S. So the U.S. is always like, sit down and learn this, and you basically memorize for the test.
So you get more like outdoor life skill.
Yeah, like you learn like how to garden and like, it's really cool. So it kind of depends on the ages of your kids. So I could talk to you about, specific. And then when you go into the high school, the way that they do it here is quite different where it's not so much knowing the answer. So like when we first came, my kids would like know the answer, but they would still lose points because it's not about just knowing it. It's about explaining it. And it's a lot more a little bit critical thinking. It's quite different. I would just say it's different. It's not better or worse. Yeah. So
and just a follow-up question quickly. Have you considered other countries when you were deciding between staying in the US and coming to New Zealand? You have considered other countries and you settled for New Zealand.
Yeah, so
here
basically,
you go. The best country in the world is New Zealand.
We considered it was, being English speaking was a big factor when you have kids. So otherwise, they're just like, it's very limited experience.
So what are we having against the French language right here?
Well,
don't you want to see your kids?
Don't get me started.
With the cigarettes at school.
Bonjour,
madame. Today we're going to learn the mathematics with 3 essays.
So
it's nice.
So that was a big consideration, English speaking. And honestly, as an American, New Zealand is the hardest country to get in, and so we like a challenge.
Nice. All right, I like that. But VFNZ, if you would like to chat to Tara about education, about different countries and everything like that, make sure you check out the channel and make sure to reach out. There's a system that you have where you can send her video questions and she has like one-on-one session with you and everything. It's only about like $10. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Or you can do
really
consulting.
cheap.
A lot of people just schedule and meet with me, and we just talk through all these questions. So.
But most importantly, Christina has the comments of the afternoon. I mean, please. I was dissing, but yes, you guys have rabbits. You have rabbits in Canada and you have rabbits in the US. So you have a bouncing animal. So therefore, it's official. Breaking news. It's just in.
Oh my god.
The US and Canada are not boring. They have a bouncy animal.
We have
the rabbits.
Here
you go. If your country has a bouncing animal, you are not a boring country. This is the criteria. I think it's in the Oxford Dictionary. And the boring.
Okay.
With a bouncy animal. Oh no, without no. Yeah, if you don't have a bouncing animal, you're boring. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay, Extreme Taleta says no refereeing until winter. Yeah, so he's not playing rugby until winter, and he went for a run earlier. Nice. And we also have, what did I miss? No, that's okay.
Thank you for replying. Great answer.
Yeah, growing up without border. What'd she say?
Oh, we should travel together. Oh, yeah, so she's saying we should travel together.
I want my own camel in this caravan. I just want to say that. I want my own camel that carries my bags.
He's going to need his own vehicle.
Camel.
Camel, whatever. It has to be a camel.
Well, why not? If we do a caravan, the caravan is camels.
Let's just get a big bus.
This big with the you get the big bus, I get my camel, and I'm just behind. Guys, I'll be here tonight. Wait for me.
Okay, you're so funny. Okay,
all right.
Robin
Nathan
likes to focus on guests.
Yes,
good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Nathan says, I think that you should do a big meeting with everyone. Ooh, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, we should all meet up, just get you guys, get Chantal.
Like a meet and greet.
Yes,
let's do it.
I'm definitely ready to handle the 3 kids of growing up without border, 4 kids from here. I'm definitely this is not going to be chaos whatsoever. And because I'm such a loosey-goosey kind of guy.
And expand. He's going to be a better person for knowing us.
Grow and expand. You mean my anger is going to grow and explode? Oh my! What?
as a person.
Oh.
Yes, you're going to learn a lot about yourself.
Oof, yes, patience then, and also I will also kind of like just get more fit as I'm gonna have to run away really fast, so it's gonna be really good for my fitness.
And Nathan is also thinking about supporting Patreon, but it's very tricky. So we're happy to
and
answer
again,
any questions that you
yes,
have.
and we're
No
not saying
pressure.
if you cannot afford it or anything, you do know that we're always going to do those live sessions and everything like that. It's just an extra way to support us. So do not feel that if you have, we know it's tricky financially for everybody because of COVID and all of that. So never feel forced to spend any money online through us. We're always here to answer all your questions. This is just an extra way to support us if you guys.
Oh, and Damien says that in the U.S., state or town similar to the flora and fauna of New Zealand. No.
From my experience, and obviously you will speak for that longer, so that's why I want to get mine really quickly. So I spent some time in Las Vegas, in San Francisco, and a lot in around the Arizona, Flagstaff, Grand Canyon area. I could not think of any dissimilar landscape, opposite landscape than New Zealand. I mean, I was in arid desert for the whole time, so I could not think about anything more different. Now you take it away because you're from there. So
yeah, I would say that the Seattle, Portland area is going to give you the most same feel of New Zealand, but not the flora and fauna. It's not going to be the same. Like the woods is not the same as the bush here at all. Like for me, when I come here, and I've done a lot of travel. So one of the reasons why we moved to New Zealand and went international was because we were going to camper van around all of the U.S., but we were like, we've been everywhere. We've seen everything. We've been to most of the national parks and so totally different there. So, the U.S. is beautiful in its own right, just in a different way. And then here, it just is like, you feel like you're in a Jurassic Park or some kind of crazy sci-fi.
Yes, without the dinosaurs, guys. I know in the US you guys watch a lot of movies, so dinosaurs are not real, especially in New Zealand. You don't have any dinosaurs.
Yeah, you don't have anything bad here. That's what's so nice, is that you can just go and hike and you never have to worry about dangerous animals or swimming.
1 out of 2 Kiwis is the real life Indiana Jones. Sometimes it just feels like they're so natural in the bush.
I know,
it's crazy.
True.
So Indiana Jones is real. 1 out of 2 Kiwis is an actual Indiana Jones. So here you go. Some movies are real. Where are we on? Okay, we're gonna quickly wrap up, guys. We're already over time, but Extreme Talata says see you next week. Bye bye. Fabio says seals are kind of bouncing animals. Well, yeah, that's true. They kind of like bounce their way on land. Yeah, they are.
That's true. They do.
But yeah, you
Otherwise, they lay there though.
You do know that I'm a big fan of the sea doggos, so I know you get my heart with that, Fabio. Sea doggos take my heart.
Okay, Douglas says where in the North Island?
Should I stay in my van? Is that what you're probably asking?
I'm not sure.
So if I have to pick one spot in the North Island where you should take your van and do a trip, I would say go around the Coromandel area. Fabio says.
Yes, if there would be Dean and Stacy too. Oh, they're referring Dean and Stacy, Peter and Yen should be part of our meetup.
Peter and Yen didn't want to meet up with us, so
yes.
But yeah,
does Patreon clip the ticket very much? I don't know what that's asking.
So yeah, Patreon get a commission. They get about I think for us it's about 10% of what they take. So yeah,
it's less than YouTube.
Yeah, what she says. I think it's 10%, but I can have a look at the schedule for you, and you actually could see that if you go on the Patreon website, you click create. So they only take about 10%, which is a very fair and reasonable portions. They provide a service, so they need to be paid for that. But yeah, they take much less than what YouTube like premium membership and everything will be taking. So yeah, it is one of the best ones for creators, and they have a lot of tools for creators, which is quite handy. But anyway, I'm not here to sell you Patreon. What's Nathan saying?
Yeah, have a great day. See you next week for the next live stream. Bye.
Yes, for sure. Christina says, yes, a lot of food with Peter and they do a lot of food, but yeah, I did reach out once. Maybe they will change their mind one day. Clay says...
I'm not sure I would gain much of the perks of Patreon, so would rather pay direct. Oh,
that's lovely.
That's nice.
Yes.
We take PayPal. You can donate via PayPal at this email address.
We do have a PayPal account.
Yes,
yeah, that's true.
Just let them do that. They
can
do that.
Yeah.
They want to support you. It's fine.
VF NZ agrees with you. Milford Sound Tour is the best Queenstown tour. So here you go. I say whitewater rafting, but yeah, here you go. I think our email address is hi@southpacificpocket.com.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Anyway, and Clay does a laughing face. Okay, anyway, Guys, we're going to wrap it up right now because we need to take a quick break before doing the Patreon live session. I'm going to test on New Zealand
he's
knowledge.
working me hard today.
Do you remember the name of that lake?
Oh, no. Why are you asking me this?
Yeah,
late?
we'll see. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for one of our live session. Again, we do live session every single week at 8 a.m. New Zealand time on Sunday. And you can come and ask us all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. But if you're watching this as a replay, you can put your questions in the comment section. And that's going to be a great way for us to pull those questions and answer them for you live on the next live session. You can hit like and subscribe because YouTube asked me to ask you that. And that's literally the only reason. And you obviously want to check out Tara. There is her handle just right here. It's at Kiwi Americans on pretty much all social medias. She does amazing content about comparing life in New Zealand with other parts of the world. It's really cool, super entertaining. And yeah, we've done quite a few videos together that we recorded.
We've been recording
expect
together.
to see my face on her channel.
Yes.
Expect to see her face on my channel.
On his channel.
And expect us to just giggle and laugh way too much. It's just, we just sound
fun.
happy.
Why
great. Are we happy? We just have to stop
because
smiling.
we're in New Zealand, so please come here.
All right. Fabio, see you in a few minutes. Clay, catch you next week. Nice to meet
don't forget
Tara.
the poll results.
Oh, yeah, the poll. Yeah, I forget. Thank you, Tamo. Look at that. This is why Tamo is a producer-level Patreon. He's here. He gets my back. All right, so we had a poll today. And we were asking you guys to vote on what is your favorite New Zealand-grown food? Kiwi fruit, feijoa, and kumara. What are the results?
Kiwi fruit for the win, but I think that's because they get those other two anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, kiwi fruit 72%. Yeah, feijoa gets 16% and kumara gets 12%. So here you go. Thank you, Fabio, for the poll as well. You guys know I always forget. See how they get my back, those guys? They're
so
the best.
nice. You have a great community. I love it.
All right, guys. I love you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.